where our zombie cage is going. Got a nice base coat of yellow, your favorite color. Which really video does not do this thing justice. It's good enough. And now we're at the point of starting to construct the maze.
Walls out for Harambe.
Welcome back to another episode of Montclair's Lair. I'm standing in the maze that we've been working on for the last 2 weeks. Alright, I've got to interrupt myself because the intro I recorded was based upon the assumption that I'd be putting out several videos using the footage that I've already accumulated. But I decided I wanted to get caught up to where we are in real time. So stick around. We're going to get quite a bit of progress done during this video, and you'll see how I finished up the walls, constructed the maze, and had my family come in and do all of the painting for me. I didn't even have to lift a brush, except to do some distressing at the end of the video. So stick around, it's going to be a good one. So we ended up having to make a couple of extra panels because of the way the haunt was laid out. And in the last video I talked about how sometimes this panel wasn't square on the frame. So up at the other end, I've already tacked staples down, and to adjust this to make it just right, you just take a hammer, hold this, tap it, and now your thing is perfectly square, and that's how you fix that problem. So painting the walls, it's my sister Stephanie. Would you like to explain your painting technique?
Since the walls are starting out this dark brown, I figured it'd be easiest to make them look like wood paneling in some spots. So I'm just taking black paint on a wide brush, just a little bit of black paint, and sort of dry brushing it over it, and making sure to stagger where I stop and start the brush marks. And then once that's dry, I might go back with another shade of brown, but if I don't, then I'll add in black vertical lines, evenly spaced, and then like where the brush marks start and stop is often where you can do your horizontal lines that show the staggering of the boards. Okay. So what do you do now, Steph? I'm just adding a little brown to it to give it just a little bit more color variation. Not as much black. Looks pretty good. And what's the step after this? Then we add the vertical lines. Oh, okay. And then we add horizontal lines. Ah. Excellent. What about knots in the wood? I recommend doing that if you feel like it's necessary, which it's definitely not in this instance. I recommend doing it after all the other stuff is done so you can see the whole picture and decide where they're best suited. Okay, well, thank you. You're welcome. So what would you call this part of the operation, Steph? Creating the illusion of vertical boards. Nice. I would specifically recommend not using a marker or something, just because using the brush gives it a little bit more variation in the boards and makes it look a little bit more rustic and less precise. I see you're using a level. Yeah, I just find it easier to make the boards quickly this way because you can just measure out whatever spacing you want. These are 8-inch boards, and just mark it in a couple places and quickly run the level down. Where did you learn how to do all of these things, Stephanie? I do a lot of theater set painting, so I learned to do stuff there. I was skeptical, but now that you've added the lines, I can see what you're talking about. The lines make a big difference. It looks just like crap on a wall before that. Yeah. The horizontal lines help a lot too, because it gives it... Yeah, and actually the big smudgy parts kind of look like knots. Yeah. Nice. Almost like I knew what I was doing, huh? Huh? Almost like you've done this before. How many colors of paint have you done? Just 2. The black, and then the brown, and then the lines are black. And then I assume you'll be going horizontally? Correct, with the lines, yeah. Excellent. So if you use like areas where it's very dark, almost like that's the start of your board. You know what I mean? looks like it's a thing.
Does it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Excellent.
Kind of like a thing.
Aha, well, everybody likes things, so let's make sure it looks like a thing.
But I also like to wait until all the vertical lines are done before adding the horizontals, because when you see the whole thing, sometimes it's like, oh, there's definitely a horizontal that needs to be there.
Yeah, you don't have to take anything out after you've done it, right?
No.
So here's how far we've gotten. We've started some painting, not finished here. My mother did all of this part. So you would enter the maze here, go through this way, turn here. Now this section has been fully painted. It's not lighted yet, but we've done the horizontal and vertical lines to make this look like wall paneling. And it came out pretty good, I think. So you come here, this will be electrocution guy. Go this way, this hasn't been painted yet. And through here, then we're gonna have a flying crank ghost, and this will be like a Victorian section. We've got to dirty this up. You continue this way, not finished yet, will be zombie or prisoner containment or something. Having fun?
Yeah. That's gonna look pretty cute. Or really ugly. Hopefully really ugly. I know.
What are you doing?
We're taping.
For what purpose?
We're making stripes on the wall, so although it pains me to have to tape, in this particular instance, I'm taping.
I see you've got a nice base coat of yellow, your favorite color. Well, I've got a lot to do here still. I need to finish fixing all of this section in here. The garage is chock full of haunted house. We've made quite a bit of progress. We've got some, most of the walls, well, half of the walls finished, I guess.
Yeah.
With a paneling effect. This is where the electrocution prop is going to go. Inside this 4x4 area. The beacon we're going to put on the opposite wall. I think for now it's just hanging. We haven't mounted anything, but everything will go in there. I've got an electrocution sign, the little box there, and then you go into what's supposed to be like a Victorian area, but it has not been grunged up yet. Those paint colors were chosen, not by me, but that's what was painted, and somebody else did it, so I'm not gonna complain because they did a wonderful job. So I've just got it lit up so you can see. Then we tacked on some of this really ugly fabric in here. And this is where our flying crank ghost will go. Grandfather clock will be in the back. We're gonna cobweb the hell out of this and grungy up this stuff here. Then you come out here, and this is where we decided to do a zombie containment area. I've already got the board mounted. I've already got the pneumatic piston mounted to the gate right here. That's gonna mount right up here on the side of the wall, following here, right around here, going back to the edge here. That's where it'll mount. So it'll shake the fence forward this way all the way up until this area. In case it fails, it'll smack that a good 2 feet away from where the people are standing so that it doesn't hit them. And then behind this, we made this paneling kind of screwed up. We'll put some green light and whatever, maybe stuff some zombie arms out from behind there so it looks like there's more monsters or whatever in there. And then you'll go into this section, which I'm going to turn off the lights and show you. So then you come into this area, the inside part of the maze, where we're going to have human pelts along with these pool noodles, which are giving a light that just, it's hard to tell on the camera, but reflects everywhere. It's very disorienting. And then we've got it around here. And more here. Then you run into this mirror. The mirror right here. And it's, you're not really sure where you're supposed to go, kind of a thing. But you turn the corner, there's more of this stuff on the ground here. We found that the ground was the most disorienting place to put it. Wow, makes you nauseous, which is exactly what we were going for. So then you'll leave crazy flashy light land. And in here will be our coffin scene. And then we'll have the coffin over here. Then you'll go out through the garage bay there. Not quite done, but a lot closer. All the walls are up though. What are we doing right here?
Putting a wallpaper border up.
To give it a Victorian appearance? Is that
Yes.
what we're going for?
That's exactly right.
I see. Well, that looks good and crappy. That's perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't put it on that good. Yeah.
It's all wrinkled and stuff.
Right. Well, that's what you wanted, right?
Yes, crap, garbage. That's what it's supposed to look like. So what's the process? Hanging wallpaper?
Yeah.
Some people like me don't know how that really works.
Okay, well, you take the paper, you roll it inside out, then you put it in the water for a few seconds, and if you were doing this properly, you would take it out and you would fold it on itself, which is called booking, and let it sit so that the glue has a chance to cure. However, since we want this to look like crap, we're not going to be doing any of that. We're just going to pull it up, slap it on.
I see. Has it been in there a sufficient amount of time?
For what you want, absolutely.
Well, I want it to stick,
It's
sort
gonna
of.
stick.
I'm going to be peeling up parts of it, you know.
I know.
What technique? Oh, that looks tremendous. This is going very quickly.
I know.
Why don't we just wallpaper the whole thing?
Because it would have cost a fortune, that's why.
And this was free, so
Some more progress today on the hallway. The border paper got laid and kind of ratty and not really done very well, purposefully. Torn up in the corners and stuff. But the biggest addition we added was the Atmosphere FX photo frame. Which really video does not do this thing justice. If you adjust the television just right, it looks like a flat picture. I opted for the one that has all of the characters going through all of the various scenes. But it was pretty simple to do. We took some molding, cut 45s and kind of put them in, not perfectly, so it looks kind of crappy. And then we took the stapler and stapled the frame into the wall. We cut out, let's see, the television actually was, believe it or not, 16 inches by 9 inches. So we cut this out 17 by 10, the hole. So here's the piece that we cut out of the wall right here. Just cut that right out. Cut this frame so that it measures 16 on the inside by 9 this way. Duplicated that and we went around to the back. It's pretty dark back here, but I've just got a flat screen television resting on a 2x4 that I sandwiched in between this wall. I've got another 2x4 up here. Actually, this is a 2x3, and I put in a couple of screws, and it's just it's not even all the way across, so I can get the thing out if I want. But it's pretty solid in there. It's not coming out. And just hooked that up to the plug. Got my DVD player that I bought for $10 at that tag sale. That's it. It's a pretty simple project, but it really gives you a neat effect. And we've all been out here watching it for the last 20 minutes or so. So what we're gonna do is take these kinds of pictures here. These are lenticular, where the image change based upon your perspective. We're gonna take these and put them down this entire hallway. I'll have one right here, and then along the walls here in this hallway, leading up to the animated picture frame. So just imagine pictures on all of these walls. Ideally, I would have wanted to mount it right here on this wall that we're looking at, but because of the way that we did it, it's really not possible. I would have had to pull all of this stuff apart and then cut out a section of the paneling and then put in some bracing. Just too much work, not worth it. We did end up today putting this up, this chair rail, just tacked up around to separate the faux wood paneling from the faux wallpaper. So once we get cobwebs in here and dirty this all up, it's gonna look great. Mom also painted this, which I think looks really nice. This is where our zombie cage is going. She did a great job on that. It looks like old weathered wood or maybe rusty metal or something. It came out pretty good. I like it. And this is actually an inside of one of those panels. Here's the wood here. So the paneling is actually facing the other direction, but you'll never be able to tell in the dark. So definitely some progress today. So we are going to remove the television before we start doing our detail staining here, where we're going to wash the walls with black and green and various other colors to tone down all of this stuff. But it's going to look great. So we'll pull that television out, do all the walls, and then mount that back in, and that'll be a done deal. Today we're going to grungy up these walls. They're far too nice looking for a haunted house. I want to try some of the brown first. It's a haunted house, just make it look like schmutz on the wall. So here's what we've accomplished. we have not done anything back here yet because we're going to be putting the Stilt Beast human pelts on the walls back here. So, not too shabby for a couple hours of work. Well, thank you for the explanation.
You're welcome.
We'll see how it turns out.
Oh, shit.
Hey, you said it, I did. So what are you doing now, Steph?
Painting the brown, like I said I was going to.
Let's try that take 2. So what are you doing now, Steph?
You remember how earlier I said I was probably going to add a little brown? That's what I'm doing.
Let's try take over 3 where you're not a smart ass. I'll take things out for Harambe.
Do not take things out for Harambe.
Oh my god. People will watch this, if YouTube still exists in 5 or 10 years, people will watch this and say, what the hell is this Harambe thing they keep talking about?
I feel like people are saying that now because who cares anymore?
Nobody. You heard about the gorilla in China or whatever it was?
No, it was here. Wasn't
Was it here?
Yeah.
And the internet hadn't got to name it, so they named it Harambe, make Harambe style.
Oh, that gorilla. I thought you meant about like actual Harambe.
No, a new one. And the internet got to choose the names. It was Harambe, make Harambe face or something like that.
Yeah, you told me about that and I told you about Bodie McBoatface. Never let the internet name something.
What boat are you shipping out on, son? Bodie McBoatface? Okay.
Don't keep me on the thing because I have no makeup on.
That's a blooper right there.
I hate you.